Yeah, wouldn't be any big shock there. Over to Everton, Acap is arguing Friedkin takeover does not need U.S. court approval, and Leadenhall arguing that it does. Why would they take that stance that it does need that approval?
Well, here we are again. Legal matters. I mean, it just keeps on going, doesn't it? It's incredible. And why they would take that case is just purely because they want to be sure that there's no way that the assets that ACAP have got, which is the Everton loan, and potentially leading to equity in Everton, can go nowhere else, and that ACAP don't lose it in some other way into some of their other schemes that have been going on. So there's no doubt that Leadenhall, I think they'll accept the Friedkin proposal to the court, but nevertheless they're just trying to be sure that the assets they're going after are all there and intact to be held, and I think we'll be okay on that one though.
And the Liverpool Echo is reporting Friedkin is going to fund the stadium project to completion. Are you surprised about this after there was a statement from the club saying that self-funding the rest of the development?
No, I think I understand that both Colin Chong and Everton was saying that there was enough money in place to finish the stadium. I think all that Friedkin's doing is moving from one pot to another pot and saying, look, there's now more money going longer term. But I don't think there's any issues. I think the stadium's definitely in great shape. I went and saw it myself at the weekend for about the fourth time. It's looking fantastic, and so no, I think the club's in good shape. The sooner we get this done and onto business, as we say, the better. But still, it's going to take till I think the very earliest mid-November, possibly into December. So I think things are going well, though, and I've got no concerns at the moment about this particular transaction.
The Echo is also reporting that Everton have received offers for new stadium naming rights. How important is it to get this deal in place soon? I know we spoke a little bit about who those sponsors might be, so could you remind us of that and how important it is to get this done as soon as possible?
Well, my understanding is that there are some financial services companies. There are also some crypto companies involved at the moment, and I understand also that, well, the assumption is that Toyota will be coming involved with Mr. Friedkin. Now, that may just be wishful thinking and putting two and two together to make five, but I know that there are a number of options. What has surprised me is that a deal hasn't landed already. It's normally a very important year, the year when you're just finishing building, because that stadium is in the news all the time. And right now, it's a centre of attention everywhere in terms of Liverpool. The fan base is getting a lot of national mentions. So it would make sense for a sponsor to have their name on it right now and get the big buzz off the pre-opening. That hasn't happened, so hopefully as soon as they can, I would hope before Christmas there would be a naming rights sponsor in place, and then the money starts to come in as part of the new revenue streams that we expect to see from a new stadium. So that's exactly what Everton have been planning to do.
And two new board members have been announced with Friedkin, Ana Laura Moreira Dunkel and Mark Watts, who both sit on the board at Roma. What's the meaning of this? Is this just showing a similar structure of running the club to how they run Roma, or potentially a sign of actually selling Roma?
Now, I think this may be more to do with the new stadium plans they've got in Roma, and I think I don't know the two individuals involved, but I'm guessing it'll be around either the financial situation around a new stadium, planning, construction, all those sort of areas. So that would be my guess. Although, as I say, I haven't got into the background of the two individuals, but I think that would be a fair assumption because I know Friedkin is still very keen on trying to build that new stadium in Rome, which is a mammoth undertaking. It really is.
And lastly, with Everton, 777 Partners has collapsed, leaving behind 7 football clubs in a desperate financial position. Insurmountable debts. Will anyone acquire any of these clubs, or what's next for these clubs?
Well, they've got Mellis Bank, who are a very well-respected investment bank handling the sale of these assets. Some are more valuable than others, obviously, at the moment. Things like Hertha Berlin, that's a very attractive club for somebody to come and look at the stake that 777 had. I've got a couple of people who've been looking at that as well right now. The issues around Genoa, who I think will probably be in a reasonable enough financial position for a takeover. The big problem will be Standard Liège, where I think there's going to be some issues. I think Paris FC will go to another buyer. So I think most of the clubs will find a home. Standard Liège is the one that really worries me, and they're a well-known Belgian club with a long, proud history. And so I'd hate to see something go wrong there. but I think that's going to be a harder one to bail out. But I'm sure there'll be a creative solution. It may have to go through something as painful as an administration. I hope not, but if it does, then I think it will find a home. All the others, I'm pretty clear. I think they'll be able to find a home for it, and I'm sure that the investment bank handling the sale will do a decent job. But they've got to realise they've got to get it done quickly as well, and give these clubs some oxygen to breathe again.
And are these opportunities for these clubs to become part of maybe multi-club systems now that they're up for buying?
Well, as I understand it, at one time Newcastle had looked at buying the whole of 777 to actually put in place a multi-club system straight away, which is an interesting way to look at how you can build a multi-club system. So, yes, I mean, if somebody was to come in and look at that as a ready-made multi-club system, it could be done. However, my opinion is very clear that if you were to build a multi-club system, you wouldn't do it with this group of clubs. There's too many situations and conflicts, I think, in terms of the way they are in each area, each country, and I think I'd build a different system with a different ladders of success going through the different clubs for a multi-club system. So, to me, it's just been a bit of a haphazard collection of clubs put together. But I think they're better off individually, and some, as you say, may fall into the hands of a multi-club buyer, which is fine. But I don't think buying the whole group really is the answer after all.